Hey guys, it's Sydney here, bringing you another top 10 video. Today's topic, top 10 LRs in Dokkan. Pretty simple. I just want to go over this is essentially just the top 10 best units in the game. I've already foreshadowed what like the top 3, 4 are, but I would still like to go over, the top 7, and still some of you who may not watch my other videos, you may learn who the top 2 best LRs are, in my opinion. Although, I'm pretty confident about the top 2, and like my top 4 is pretty confident, but like anything under that, you could swap some of them around, and it wouldn't make that much of a difference in my mind. All right, so coming in at number 10, we have LR Tech Broly. Now, this is a unit that I own. He is good for shorter events and like Super Battle Road, but in any longer events, like he just doesn't have to the defense required. Like this is his only defensive buff throughout this form, and in this form he only gets 10% more. So either way you slice it, he's not gonna have defense, but he does hit hard. Oh yeah, another thing of Broly is that you have to build a lot of the team around him to make sure he functions properly, because he doesn't like do that. Like he doesn't hit insane numbers unless you get like this, because he gets the extra 88% attack if it's ultra. And he also massively lowers instead of just so greatly lowers, and this just allows him to hit even extra damage, because it's this plus this plus this. Like whenever I use that, he's in like 4.5 million attack stats. But my one issue with him is how bad so defensively he is. I mean, I can't overlook that. Yeah, he's an offensive god, but in terms of defense, he literally has one defensive buff, and that's only after he supers. So if you get hit before you super, he'll be taking on like 30k from a Dokkan event boss, like depending on which one you're fighting, obviously. But he's still like the 10th best LR in my opinion, but his defensive capabilities, I just can't put him any higher than 10. Number 9, we have Spirit Bomb towards Goku. This is another unit I own. This guy is similar to Broly, but his defense is still better. But this guy hits so hard. I mean, oh yeah, I didn't talk about his category. So the Resurrected Warriors category is a solid category, but he's not the best leader. That's I believe. Hold on, well, let me check that real quick. Yeah, the Majin Vegeta is the best leader for that. Talking about Goku's team, Super Saiyans is a really good team, but obviously there's a better leader, that which being Namek. Goku, but I mean, he can still lead it solid, but that's not why we're here. So, he greatly raises defense. Now, alright, in my experience, he gets 7% defense per spear obtained, and he does make rainbow spears. But majority of the time, he'll get more defense from getting this instead of just getting a shit ton of orbs. Unless you get like 15, 12 orbs, he'll get more defense from this. But 90% of the time, you are going to get this, because he gets 2 keep from a rainbow spear. He makes a rainbow spears as well. And as long as you have one Super Saiyan's ally on rotation, he'll hit like 3-4 million as long as he gets a good amount of orbs. I mean, so defensively he's definitely better than Broly, and also you don't have to build the entire team around him, at least not as much than you do Broly. This guy can fit on a lot of teams very well, and also he links up well, prepared for battle, Golden Warrior, and he creates his own spears. And also, he's on a lot of good categories. Pure Saiyans is the best category in the game. Movie Heroes, a solid category. Goku Family, a really good category. Super Saiyans, then again, a really good category. And Last Resort, one of the best categories in the game as well. This guy, he's so good offensively. He's better than Broly defensively. But, like, so I've used this guy in the legendary Goku event a lot. And you do have to protect him once he goes in UI. Like, you do have to use some damage reduction or some defense or whatever. But his defense is better, and also he hits almost as hard as Broly, but he has better defense, so that's why he's at number 9. Number 8, we have LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is a great unit. I also own him. I even have a dupe in him. This guy, his category, he leads one of the better categories in the game. My only issue, well, I mean, obviously with like I would prefer the massively raised so defense for one turn. Well, I mean, spoiler alert, next up Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Now the main reason is because Goku has the defense here, and also Goku's category is a bit better than Vegeta's is. So not by much, but it definitely is better. But Vegeta massively raises attack. That's good. He has defense 80%, which isn't the best. The only way he'll be viable so defensively in harder events like Infinite Dragon Ball, History, and Super Battle Road is if you get this, and that's only after he supers. Before he supers, he is pretty vulnerable to like 80% to defense. But I will say that he's an amazing unit. He builds up his attack. He gets extra orbs, from Rainbow, and no he gets 4 key for STR orbs, and he gets 3 for Rainbow, and he has a 30% chance of evading super attack. That's nice. He was one of the 2 active skill introducing units in the game. Final Shine, it's just free damage. What is it? 100% so damage multiplier, 4th turn. Links are good. PS prepared for battle, and GT, although that's not going to be active too often. But I mean, prepared for battle, and he gets a ton of orbs from these. Very solid unit, leads a good category. He can hit really hard, and as long as you get this, he'll be solid defensively. But the only issue is that like his category is a bit worse, and he doesn't raise that to defense. And now this is the main reason. Listen, I prioritize defense over offense in most scenarios. You see, let's say in a situation where Vegeta supers, yeah, he'll get the damage, but he won't be able to cover his own ass, so to speak. Like, Goku, at the very least, can get his defensive buff 95% of the time. Vegeta, getting this is a lot easier because he gets that, but I've used Vegeta in the legendary Goku event multiple times, and there is a lot of times where he does miss his 18 key, and that's whenever I also bring this guy, and he makes Rainbow Orbs, and he gets 3 key for Rainbow Orbs, and he'll still miss Ultra super attacks a lot of the time. But I mean, this is almost a guaranteed. All you have to get is 1 SDR orb or 1 Rainbow Orb, and then some other orb, and then you'll get his 12 key. But just the fact that he can get hit hard if you don't get him his 18 key really hurts him. Now, yes, this guy you usually will dish out more damage than Goku, but defensively Goku is better, and he leads a better team. So that puts Vegeta at number 8. Still a very, I kind of slander Vegeta, but I mean he's on this list. He's still a top 10 LR in the game. He's still a very good unit. Coming in, no. So no, he's number 7. Coming in at number 6, we have LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Now Goku leads one of the best categories in the game, probably top 5-ish. Massively raises defense. See, at the very least with Goku, you know that you'll be able to take hits. With Vegeta, it's a lot more uncertain. And like Goku won't hit that hard with this, but I mean, getting this, which will happen a good amount of the time, because he does get extra key. But like I said with Vegeta, this is not so guaranteed every turn. This essentially is. I mean, technically, nothing's so guaranteed, but I mean, 95% of the time you're gonna get this, and like 80% of the time you're gonna get this. But at least with this, you get the defensive raise, so you know that he'll be able to take hits for the turn, and he does build up his So Vegeta has starting out defense, and then he builds up attack. Goku has starting out attack, and then he builds up some defense. So they're both very similar in that aspect, and then you just swap out the STR for AGL, and the dodge chance is still there. He has the same active skill, essentially, 100% buff, free damage, almost the same links, I believe, besides like Kamehameha. Yeah, but the only reason I have Goku ahead is because because of this being first and the better category. I don't have much else to say about Goku. He's on 3 really good categories. This category is not that good. So yeah, that's it for Goku. I did not talk about Vegeta's categories. He's on very similar categories, but the Kamehameha definitely is better than worthy rivals. But yeah, Vegeta's wants some solid categories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, coming in at number 5, we have our Gohan. Now, our Gohan, he is a bit tricky due to the fact that getting this is really hard on almost every single one of his teams, except Android slash Cell Saga, and there might be like one or two others, but mainly that's the one you're gonna get it. But even if you don't transform with him, he's still a very solid unit. I mean, his leader skill is really good. He leads one of the better categories in the game. He raises the defense. Like I said, whenever you raise stuff infinitely, that will instantly make me select the unit more. 100% attack and defense, that's pretty standard. But then after 7 turns, yeah, after 7 turns, he'll get key 5 and 70% attack and defense. So essentially, after he's built up, this is key 5 and attack and defense 170%, and he raises his defense. So in any long event, this guy, like in the legendary Goku event, once you get the UI Goku, he'll take double digits from even like supers. His links are still very good, and also he can stuff key 5. But I mean, he's supposed to prepared for battle, Golden Warrior, and yeah, he's prepared for battle, Golden Warrior, and he'll still get key 1. I don't know if that is on the first rotation or if it's after the first. Either or. I mean, he'll still only need like 4 key to get a super off, but then after like 2 turns, he'll need like 3. And then after this is fully built up, he'll need like 0 key to get a super off. Like he'll have it so before you even get any orbs. So he's great on key, and he has amazing attack and defense, especially so the defense. And dude, this is one of the reasons why he's so high. Look at how many teams he's on. And most of these are really good. Hybrid Saiyans are really good. Full Power, really good. Transformation Boost, really good. Goku Family, really good. Youth, solid. Super Saiyans, really good. Android Cell Saga, pretty good. Kamehameha, really good. Master Disciple, solid. Super Saiyan 2, solid. Explosion of Anger, solid. He's on there's not a bad category here. The worst one I would say would be either Youth or maybe Bond. But even then, those aren't horrible categories. They're still solid. Like, this guy's on so many categories, has solid links, and his passive is solid. Well, no, it's actually really good. But let's say you do get this off, and let's say you do transform with him. What happens? 20% attack per key spear and 7% defense. Key 1, and he gets 2 key guaranteed per orb, and it's 3 key if it's 3 key if it's AGO, and he randomly changes to Rainbow, which means he'll get the shit ton of this. He's essentially a better version of this guy once he transforms. Well, when facing one enemy, I didn't see that. Launches an additional super attack when facing multiple, plus an additional 15% ultra attack. Yeah, that's not important, but now you guys might be thinking, where he'll only have this as his defensive buff. Yes, but that's why in this form he raises his defense, which means once in the legendary Goku event or Infinite Dragon Monster, you're not gonna not gonna want to transform this guy right away. You're gonna want him to build up his so defense a bit. Then after his defense is at a solid level, yeah, he'll drop some of his defense. But as long as you get some of these, and also this, he'll still be tanking as long as you raise his defense a fair amount of times. So he'll be solid defensively, and he'll hit so hard. Like, I've seen clips of this dude one-shotting in UI Goku, which is the single hardest boss fight in the game if you just include him. This guy is so good. Even just this form, he would still be probably in this spot, but except this is he hits so hard, it just helps him a lot. That puts Gohan on number 5. Wait, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. Yeah, coming in at number 6, we have LR, Gohan, and Goten. Dang, these units are good. First of all, they have probably the single best leader skill in the game. Siblings Bond is a solid category, and Goku's family is one of the best categories in the game. I would prefer that they greatly raise attack and defense, but that's still good. They just shut damage. So they have this at start, launches an additional attack with 25% chance of being a super. Key 1 and attack and defense 10%, which each attack performed up to 100%. So after this is built up, it's essentially attack and defense 158% and key 5. That's really good. But the main, like this family Kamehameha, 100% multiplier when facing one enemy from the third turn, 59% less HP. Like, after these two build up, they are so good. So they dish out tons of damage, and they lead a solid category and like one of the best categories in the game. Like, that's the thing. These dual leader skills are really good. Like Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, he leads Fusion and Movie Heroes, two solid categories. The only problem with these guys is they have 0 key links except Golden Warrior. But after you build them up, they won't need that key. Now, these guys do have a similar case of LR Tech Broly, is that you do have to base a lot of the team around them, but they are still better defensively, and they hit just as hard, and they lead a better categories, yeah, so they lead better categories. They're better defensively, and this is insane. And they're better defensively than the LR4s after they're fully built up, I believe, too. I wish that, dude, if they were to greatly race here, they would be defensive gods. Except they still hit hard, they still have solid to defense. And, now, yes, they do struggle for key at the beginning. But after you get this, they won't even need any key to get a super off. And if you look at how many more categories they are than like the LR4s, Hybrid Saiyans, good category. Majin Buu, good category, solid category, good category, solid, very good category, solid category, very good, very good. Like, they're on a ton of good categories. They're an amazing unit. And this hits really hard. I mean, and they lead to very well. So they would a solid category and then a very good category. So that puts LR Gohan and Goten at number 6. Yeah, 6. All right, coming in at number 4, we have LR Rose. This guy is single-handedly the best turn 1 unit in the game. He is the best unit in the game, I believe, at turn 1. So, I mean, his leader skill, he's not the best leader for that category, but he's an okay leader. Greatly raises defense for 1 turn. This is mainly how he gets to defense. So his attack and defense 66%, plus an additional attack 6% per key meter bar, up to 120%. I believe that means, like, for each 1 bar a key. So essentially, if you get a 12 key, he's essentially attack 66% plus that. So what? That's attack 166% if you get him a 12 key, apparently. Well, I'm not sure, but I believe that is. And he gets 2 key, which each time he kills and a kill, quote for quote, whatever. A final blows, quote for quote, an enemy up to 6%. Recover 6% HP at end of turn in which attack was received. Oh, okay, so he heals a little bit as well, but this guy's damage output is insane, and after you get this, he's still pretty solid so defensively. He's not the best defensive unit, but he'll get the job done here as long as you get this off first, and he hits unbelievably hard. And this does not happen very often, but it can be activated 66% or less starting from the 6th turn start of battle. This doesn't happen too often, but when it does, it's just free damage, essentially. All these, Giant 8 forms, Namek Goku's rage thing that he does, all these, it's just free damage. It's always helpful, but it's not an insane active skill, but it definitely helps. And his links are very good. I mean, you got Fear and Faith, Super Saiyan, Dismal Future, Big Bad Bosses, Fierce Battle. He has so many good units, and he's on a lot of good teams. If I were to go over this real quick, Realm is really good, Potara is really good, Future Saga is really good, Time Travel is really good, Kamehameha is really good, Explosion of Anger is solid, and Diabolical Villains is solid as well. This guy's on a ton of categories. He hits insanely hard, and he's solid defensively as long as you get the greatly raised. And he'll have plenty. I mean, even without this, he would still be fine on key. He has Fear and Faith and Dismal Future. But once you get that key built up, he'll have so much key, it's unbelievable. Like, you'll be getting 18 keys so without even trying. That puts LR Rose at number 4. Number 3 of LR Kale and Khalifa. Now, so before the 50th anniversary, they were bar none the best unit in the game, but they have dropped down to the 3rd spot. Well, the leader skill is solid. I believe they're the only leader for that category, right? Yeah, so they're the only leader, except, these sub-leaders, but, I mean, they're sub-leaders. Simple as that. So they have a solid leader skill. So they raise the defense, so that's one thing I like about them. 66% attack and defense. Launches a guaranteed additional attack, key 1 up to 6, chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attacks, plus 6% up to 66% with each attack performed. Attack plus 10% for Universe 6 Joint Forces Pure Saiyans category on the team. If you're. These two are pretty common, and that is not, but Pure Saiyans, then again, is the largest category in the game. Launches an additional super attack when there is Universe Survival Saga or Pure Saiyans category enemy. Now, let me go over this real quick. Key 1 up to 6. Well, where did she get the key from? I'm so confused. Like, if I were to... I'm not sure. Like, it doesn't... Key... I have no idea how they get up to 6. But they will eventually have key up to 6. It doesn't really say very much. But every time they perform an attack, they get a 6% chance to dodge. And then again, so they launch an additional attack... And so they launch an additional super when there's Universal Survival Saga Pure Saiyans. And then again, Pure Saiyans is the largest category in the game. And Universal Survival Saga is a pretty big category as well. And you know how they're getting all these additional attacks and the additional supers? That means they're going to raise their defense even more. Kale and Khalifa are by far the best defensive unit in the game. So they raise their defense. They have a 66% chance of evading once they're fully built up. And they'll still hit hard. Because, this, and they're an LR. And their links, oh baby, they're good. Super Saiyan, Battlefield Diva's alright. This ain't that good. But Tournament of Power, that's 3 key, and Prepared for Battle. They have Prepared for Battle, which is the most common key link in the game, and Tournament of Power, which is also very common. Fierce Battle as well, and Legendary Power. Like, they're going to be hitting hard, and they're on some solid categories. Pepe Gals is a solid category. Survival Saga is a good category. Pure Saiyan's the best category in the game. Full Power, it's a good category. Joint Force is a good category. Universe 6, meh. Super Saiyan 2, also a solid category. They're insane. They're the best offensive unit in the game, and they can still dish out very good damage. And they fit on a lot of teams, simply because they have Prepared for Battle. They fit on a lot of places. They are so good. And that puts them at number 3. The best defensive unit in the game, Kale and Khalifa. Coming in at number 9, we have LR Blue Gogeta. Just came out on JP. The 30th of January, 2020. Leader skill. One of the best leader skills in the game. Last Resort, probably the second best category in the game. Fusion, one of the better categories in the game. Raise his attack, so he's going to be raising his attack. So, attack at even 70%, not bad. Key 3 when attacking, which means, like, well, let's say you're 3 key away from getting a 12 key. Whenever he starts to attack, he'll get a super. Launches an additional attack with a 25% chance of becoming a super. High chance, as a 50% chance of evading as the third attacker in the turn. Now, the way these guys are designed is that they're really meant to be in the third slot, or quote for quote be a floater, before they transform. And then after they transform, you're supposed to put them in the first and second. Go over his pre-fused links. Seeing Warrior Race, solid. Fused Fighter, Fused Fighter on the fusion category is going to be all over the place. Prepared for Battle's common. Over in a Flash is extremely common on these two. Kamehameha's good. Fierce Battle's good. Legendary Power is solid. And he's on, Fusion, Realm of God, Transformation Boost, Movie Heroes, Kamehameha Last Resort. He's on so many good categories. And his Transformation condition is one of the best in the game. Now, this guy is solid before he transforms. Like, he's decent, but once he transforms, it's over. The best offensive unit in the game. These two are the best offensive units in the game. So he raises attack and defense for 1 turn. And he raises so defense for 1 turn on his 18 key. So let's go over what his passive is. 77% at start of turn. And key 5, which means if you were to miss a 12 key by 5 key, he'll get 5 key when he's about to attack, and he will get more key. Attack and defense 70% with each attack performed up to 77%. Which means, after he's fully built up, his passive essentially is attack and defense 144%. Attacks effective against all types as the second or first attacker in the turn, which is just more damage. Launches an additional super attack. Oh, okay, so this is only as a third attacker in the turn, and he has a 50% chance of dodge, so as a third attacker in the turn. So essentially, attack and defense 144%. And attacks effective against all types is first or second. And if he's in the third, he launches a guaranteed super, and he has a 50% chance of evading. And plus, he's gonna get the raise of defense, which is an extra 30% defensive buff. So he's still solid defensively. I mean, he's not better defensively than these two, or even probably maybe this guy. So that's a maybe, but like he's still good defensively, and he's like the best offensive unit in the game. All right, so and he has similar to the LR4's active skill, which is the ultimate Kamehameha. He gets a 50% attack buff, can be activated when their enemy is 50% or less HP, starting from the next turn, I believe, after he transforms. His links are insanely good. Fuse Fighter, Warrior God, Super Saiyan. Now it does kind of hurt him that he loses prepared for battle, but then again he still gets that key 5, so he'll still be great on key. And he still has Earn a Flash and Fuse Fighter, and he gains some more attacking links. Kamehameha as well, first battle with 30 power. He's still good, and his categories have not changed. The best offensive units in the game, these two are. Oh yeah, spoiler alert. This guy's the number 1. And this guy, oh my gosh, he's so good. Now I'll go over why I have Vegito higher, but I think Vegito's slightly better, but it could go either way. But I think Vegito's slightly better. This guy's insane offensively, and he's still solid defensively, and he has that active skill, which is free damage. Now, oh yeah, and that puts Gogeta at number 2. At number 1, the ultimate invincible fusion, Vegito. LR Vegito Blue. Last Resort or Potara. By the way, Potara is, well, this is another reason why he's better, I suppose. Potara is a slightly better category than Fusion. I mean, Fusion only has, Go Tankses, Gogetas, and some other units like that I'm missing. But Potara has all the Vegetos, all the Goku Black Zamasus. Hold on, in fact, we'll look at it for a second. I mean, oh yeah, that's Kefla on it. All the Vegetos, all the Goku Blacks, and it has, these two on there as well, and her as well. So there's just more variety on here. So it's a bit better. He raises attack, same as Vegito. Attack with 7%, key 3 when attacking, same. Launches an additional attack with 20% chance of super attack. Yeah, so their passives are the exact same, essentially, in their so base forms. And he has a 50% chance of evading when he's a 3rd turn. So then again, so when they're in base, so they're mainly meant to be a floater until they transform, which is 4th turn, which is really good. Links, Brainiacs is not that common, but so Saiyan Warrior Reigns, power bestowed by God, over to Flash, Fuse Fighter, and he gets 3 key when attacking. Like, he'll be good on key, and he'll hit hard, even in his base form. And he raises attack too, so with his few hits you're gonna get in his base, he'll get more attack. And his categories, Realm of Gods, Potara, Future Saga, Transformation Boost, Time Travelers, Kamehameha, and Last Resort. I do believe, yeah, Vegito's categories are a bit better. Time Travelers and Future Sagas are one of the better categories in the game. Now, once he transforms, it's over. Raises attack and defense, so these have not changed. So these are the same as Gogeta's, but so 77% start of turn, key 2, launches. Alright, this is the main reason that Vegito is above Gogeta. He has a guaranteed additional super. Gogeta has a guaranteed additional normal, and like a 25% chance of it being an additional super. And you know what happens? So he'll get the raised attack and defense for the super that you're going to get. Then he gets an additional super, which is another raised attack and defense. Well, if you get an 18 key, you'll get the raised defense, and then its additional super will give you the raised attack and defense. So that's better. Now, all right, listen. So essentially, the trade-off here is that Vegito has an additional super, and Gogeta is super effective against all types. But an additional normal, even if it's super effective against all types, isn't gonna do that much against like a hard event. Like against UI Goku, it's not really even gonna do anything. And at least Vegito, an additional super, will do something. Now, it isn't fair to compare Vegito to Gogeta in the Legendary Goku event because Vegito has type disadvantage against UI Goku, so that does hurt him a little bit. But if we were to compare them on an even level, like against Tech type unit, I think Vegito will hit most of the time harder because he gets the additional super. Yes, Gogeta will do more damage in the first hit, but if you factor in his additional super, Vegito hits harder. And he so builds. All right, so this is another thing. Gogeta, once he transforms, he doesn't have to build up his ki. Vegito does, but Ki honestly, like he has over in a flash and fuse fighter, and he still gets Ki too. Like this is helpful, but he doesn't need that, and he still builds up his attack and defense. So they both have 144% attack and defense, and technically after Vegito's fully so built up, he has more Ki than Gogeta, so that's a bit better. And as the third attacker, launches an additional super and a 50% chance of evading. And his active skill is similar. Final Kamehameha, 50% or less HP from the turn after he transforms. But the main reason I put Vegito over Gogeta is because of the launches a guaranteed additional super. So, I mean, he'll get 2 defensive raises. What? That's 60% so guaranteed so defense from his 2 supers, plus 144% after he's fully built up. So what is that? 204% defense after he's done with all his supers. That's insane. Like, even in the legendary Goku event against Int UI Goku, this guy will get hit pretty hard if he gets supered, but against Int UI Goku normals, I'm pretty sure he still takes like double digits if he gets hit with a normal. If he gets supered, he will get hit for like 150k, but he's still a solid option in the legendary so Goku event. Not the best, but solid. And in Super Battle Road, this guy's solid. In Infinite Dragon Ball history, this guy's insane. I mean, these two both are, but yeah, that is the number 1 unit in the game, in my opinion, LR Vegito Blue. And then again, I'm going to say this for the last time, the only reason Vegito is above Gogeta is because of the additional super. Alright guys, well that has been my top 10 best LRs, or it's probably just best units in Dokkan. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed, consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment, whatever you feel like doing. So yeah, I guess that's all I need to say. Have a good night, guys, and see ya. Bye.